Hey, it's Troy from hittingitsolid.com here. Thanks for watching. So in this video, I'll be showing you all about setup and tee height for driver. Now this is so important for this big club because from what I see on the golf course, so many golfers are not setting up correctly with their driver, and that just inhibits your chances of even hitting a great drive, no matter how good a swing you've got. If you don't set up over the ball with the right ball position, stance, the tilt, all those things, if you don't do that right, your chances of hitting a great solid drive are very severely diminished. And if you ever look at a lot of these pro golfer swings I'm going to show during this video, you'll see they all do the same thing when it comes to their setup and their tee height with their driver. So let's get stuck in. By the end of this, you'll be able to set up like a pro and start hitting those long drives. So let's have a look at the setup. So first thing for me would be your stance over the ball. Now, I just see so many golfers set up with too narrow a stance. Now, the driver is your biggest club, so it's really important when you're set up, you get a little bit more width than normal, at least shoulder width apart, if not a little bit bigger. You don't want to go too big because something like this, that'll restrict your turn, but you definitely want to have it very stable. You want those feet to be pointing out like this, particularly your left one, because that will help you really rotate through the ball. But you definitely want a wider than normal stance to get a really good solid base. That is the absolute first thing you need to do. Now the second thing is your ball position. Again, I see this so often. If this is my ball here, and I don't know if this is something you've seen yourself do on video or you've seen maybe one of your buddies on the course do, you'll see here, I've got a driver and that ball is right in the middle of my stance. And this is what I see happen. In an effort to get that ball in the air, you'll swing back and you'll do this sort of move. Because it's so far back in your stance, the only way to get it into the air is really hang back like this. And that just destroys any chance you've got of hitting a great drive. So make sure, for me, I try to get it forward of center, somewhere just inside that left heel. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely want it. Got my nice wide stance. Now, the line of the shaft for me, I normally have it fairly straight. I don't like to have my hands forward like that with the driver, because with the drive we're trying to hit on the up and maximize that launch angle. So I like to get in that nice position, got the ball forward, got a nice stable base, knees slightly bent. I'm in that great position to start launching those bombs. Now the next part, this is really important because this is missed by so many golfers, and that's access tilt. Really important, particularly with the driver. So if I get over one here, and this correlates with ball position. Quite often if you have the ball too far back in your stance like this, you'll see my shoulders here are fairly level. We don't want that with the driver because we're hitting on a slight ascending blow. We want to be hitting on the slightly on the up. We need access tilt at setup. We need something like this. See, I've got that little bit of tilt. My shoulders are pointing slightly up. We don't want it to exaggerate it like that, but we definitely need those tilt in your shoulders. Now, a great little drill or practice, you can do this on the tee just before you're about to hit. There's a couple of ways you can do this. Grab a club, grab your driver, put it right in the middle of your sternum here, and then just rock this way until that driver head hits your lead leg. That's the right amount of axis tilt you need. Now obviously depending on your height, your body type, this will be different for everyone, but as a general guideline, I hold that position there, that's the right amount of tilt. So that's a really quick and easy method you can do, just waiting to hit your shot. Now the other thing you can do, I'll just put the club there, put your hands out to your side and just slide down until your right hand touches your right knee. This is obviously for a right-hander. Lefties, you just do the opposite. Then once you've done that, put your left hand on and re-grip. Again, that's a nice little checkpoint to make sure you get the right amount of tilt. And you're set up for success. That's half the battle. Once you're set up right with the driver, it makes the whole swing itself so much easier. And keep looking at these pro swings throughout this video and just have a look at how they're set up over the ball. I guarantee you they're all set up exactly the same. They're all set up in that same sort of position. Obviously they've got great golf swings, but when you set up like that, you give yourself every opportunity to launch those bombs. Now I'm going to talk about the height of your ball on the tee. This is really important, so let's dive in and get a nice close-up of this. Okay, let's look at your tee height for your driver. Now, this will depend on what type of driver you use, but as a general guideline, for me, I like to see that tee placed, the ball on the tee I should say, placed about half a ball higher than the actual driver here. So you can see at the moment, I've got it teed up about, obviously there's the ball height there, but I've got it teed up with the ball sitting about half of its height above the driver there. And that just gives you that optimum position so that when I get over one like this, when I come through, gives you that bit of room that you can hit more slightly on the up to really catch those drives clean. Now, what I see from so many golfers is they'll have that tee pushed down like that, and you can see there, it's barely higher than my actual driver there. Hopefully I've done that pretty accurately, probably more like that. You can see there that it's only barely just higher than the driver. Now, that doesn't give me a lot of room to really come through and hit on the up. I've got to catch it absolutely perfect. I'd like to see you, if anything, err on the side of caution, tee it up higher if you have to give you that little bit of extra room so you can really catch it on the up. Particularly if you're someone that likes to hover it, getting it a bit higher would be much more preferable than getting it a bit lower. It just gives you that nice bit of buffer room to be able to hit those longer drives. That's really super important. Now again, it depends on your driver. If you've got a much thicker driver than this, if you've got something a lot thicker, you'll need to tee it up even higher just to allow for that. But if you go at least half a ball higher than your driver, you should be in a pretty good position to really maximize those drives off the tee. Now, if you think these tips really help you out, make sure you smash that like button. I really appreciate that. Now, have a look at this next part I've got. This is really important. So that's how you set up and get the right tee height for your driver. So make sure you apply those the next time you tee it up. By all means, practice at the driving range first, but you can pretty much take this to the course and start hitting better drives. It's simple, it's easy. You've only got to look at those pro examples to see how effective it is, and I know you can do it and start seeing some great results. Now, really important, I've got a video coming up that talks about creating space in the downswing. This is really important for your driver to help you launch those longer drives, so make sure you watch it. It's coming up.